Good evening, everyone. My name is Casey, and family is something that I often think about. Growing up, I found myself comparing my family to others. My mom was a single parent who worked tirelessly to provide for my older brother and me. Seeing firsthand what she and many other single parents have gone through has interested me for some time. To put it bluntly, I think my mom's a superhero. However, I've come to realize that she's not the only one. Single parents don't receive enough acknowledgement for what they do. Raising kids with a partner is challenging, but raising a child and/or children on your own is daunting. In 2020, over 18.5 million kids grew up in a household with a single parent. As one of these kids, I've learned to appreciate the opportunities that my mom worked hard to give me. So why does society care so much about being raised by two parents? Society loves fatherless jokes and shows plenty of negativity towards single-parent households. But in the end, who says it takes two to raise a child? Where did these stereotypes come from? All they do is spread misinformation about the greatness that a single parent can do. I believe that sometimes you don't need two parents to grow up well. All you really need is one strong one. Having two parents doesn't guarantee a great childhood. Children go through horrible experiences in two-parent dysfunctional homes all the time. Dysfunctional families can be characterized by a variety of negative behaviors such as neglect, abuse, and addiction. These factors can create long-term psychological and emotional damage to children who may grow up with a skewed sense of what is normal or healthy. According to verywellmind.com, a website dedicated to mental health findings by healthcare professionals, no parent is perfect, but in dysfunctional families, the problems in the household are ignored or denied. Children who dare to raise these issues may be shamed or punished, leading them to deny their own perceptions of reality and suffer from low self-worth. Dysfunctional households are extremely toxic for children, and being raised by a thriving single parent rather than two that are struggling can lead to positive environments. Dysfunctional families are constantly struggling to support their children because they have too many problems within themselves. For instance, I follow a TikTok influencer named Ken who shares texts from a two-parent dysfunctional home. Ken's dad has very religious and old-fashioned beliefs and actively tries to force them on her. One of Ken's posts shows her dad trying to stop her from going to the Taylor Swift concert over false rumors that go against her beliefs. As a result, Ken dislikes her father. Problems still persist in these two-parent households and can be harder to deal with than in single-parent ones. When one person is raising a household, they don't have to worry about their relationship with a partner or any other beliefs that may conflict with someone else's in the same household. Despite the challenges that come with being a single parent, they're still able to provide kids with a loving space. Kids need someone to look up to. That's why role models are exceptionally important. If kids are being raised in a two-parent household with lousy parents, they're not going to be receiving a good example. I've had many friends who live with married parents, yet there's many problems including alcohol, drugs, and other things kids shouldn't be exposed to in their own homes. One of my friends has a dad who's an alcoholic, and she shared with me that one time when her mom wasn't home and her dad was extremely drunk, he was being aggressive towards her younger sisters. She stepped in because she wanted to protect them and ended up getting hurt. Parents struggling with addiction or substance abuse can be extremely dangerous around kids. If these two-parent households are supposed to be what's ideal for kids, then issues like these shouldn't exist. These are traumatic experiences for kids who grow up in two-parent dysfunctional homes. My experiences with divorced parents have taught me to appreciate the benefits of divorce, since the limited encounters I've had with my dad have not been positive, to the point where I didn't even want to see him anymore. He constantly set an awful example and would berate me for minor things I did. As years went by, my mom made sure that even though she and my dad were over, I still had consistent contact with my father. But every interaction with him was always negative or just more unasked-for life lessons about money or what my future career should be. My dad would always say, "Casey, what do you want to do in the future?" And I'd respond, but he'd always interrupt me saying, "Have you ever heard of a nurse practitioner? You should be a nurse practitioner. They make loads of cash and work 3 days a week." It was never about what I wanted to do, just telling me to chase his dreams. If my dad had been living with me, I wouldn't have gone and saying what I wanted to do. Even if I wasn't raised in a two-parent household, I still had plenty of role models in my life. At a young age, I learned that male role models don't have to be related to you. When my dad wasn't there, family and friends were. My mom surrounded me with caring men, and it's difficult to describe the experience of growing up around people who treated me as their own. But it's a feeling of comfort and security, knowing that you have people in your life who care about you and want to see you succeed. These men may not have been biologically related to me, but they were still there for me whenever I needed them. They provided guidance and support and helped me grow into the person I am today. It's the small actions that count, whether it was playing catch in the pool or asking me if I want a hamburger or a hot dog while at the grill. I remember this one time when my mom had to go to an out-of-state conference during summer break, and all of our family friends were going on vacation to Arizona as a group. Since my mom was out of town, my brother and I weren't able to join the vacation. I was upset at first when I thought I wouldn't be able to go, but just then, one of my mom's best friends offered to take us with them. I didn't have to miss out because there were other adults who could step in when my mom wasn't available. Even if I wasn't fortunate enough to have my dad be the male role model in my life, I still had other men who were there to look out for my brother and I. Though I was raised in a single-parent household, I still felt like I was being raised by two or more anyways. If there's one last thing I knew to appreciate, it's that none of these experiences I gained from my role models would have ever been possible without the superhero in my life. I never worried about not having a dad because my mom did both jobs at once. After a long day at work and an exhausting drive back home, she was still ready to be a mom. I remember this one time when my mom got home from work at around 8 p.m. and I had some unfortunate news to tell her. I told her, "Mommy, I have a project and it's due tomorrow and I haven't started it." Was she tired? Yes. Was she frustrated? Oh, of course. But if she wasn't going to be there for me, who was? So she said, "Get in the car." And we drove to Staples so that we could buy a cardboard poster to start and finish my project in one night. She worked, she cooked, she cleaned, she housed us, she bathed us, she fed us, and more. I asked myself, how can someone do so many things all in a day? The answer is because she's a superhero. Similar to most thriving single-parent families, they always have constant motivation. In elementary school, I perpetually received those awards for high GPA or perfect attendance. My mom made sure to always attend the award ceremonies because she knew that if she was going to be there for us, she wanted it to be those little memories that counted. In around first or second grade, I was super excited for the upcoming show. The night before the show, my mom came up to me and told me, "I'm so sorry, Casey. You know I always attend your award shows. But this time, I can't make it. Mommy has a very important meeting that she won't be able to miss." Though I was distraught, I told her, "It's okay, Mommy. I know you always come to my award shows. It's fine if you miss one." Even if I was a little kid, I was still able to appreciate everything my mom was able to do for me. The struggle of a single parent is having only yourself to rely on to make those little memories count, being present for what's important. She did it because she had constant motivation, whether it was my uncles or her best friends or even my grandparents. She always found a way to make life better for my brother and I. This is the constant story for single-parent families. We need a reminder that we should appreciate the people who make it happen. Those are our superheroes. As a society, we often believe that children should be raised by two parents, the foundation of a family. However, depending on the situation, it is important to remember that even having two parents could lead to negative effects later in kids' lives. Having one strong, independent parent can provide the child the guidance and support they need to be successful in their life. For these reasons, I believe that having two parents isn't always necessary. All you really need is one strong one. Thank you.